mumbo-jumbo means about this much to me, that and a sixpence will buy me a cup of coffee. I'm not concerned about those affairs. Do I look like a Jew to you? And look at the full Roman pride and the absolute contempt in which the Romans held the Jews. Am I a Jew that I would be concerned about such things? But these people, they handed you over to me. So you had to have done something, buddy. What is it that you did? Pilate wants to know what he did. What crime had he committed? Look at the words of Jesus next. Jesus said, "My kingdom is not of this world. If it were, my servants would fight to prevent my arrest from the Jews. But now my kingdom is from another place." Wow, what do these words mean? How are we supposed to understand this? You see, Jesus never denies that he's a king. But what he's telling Pilate here is, Pilate, I am a king. And I do have a kingdom, but it's not of this world. Let me ask you the question. If Jesus' kingdom isn't of this world, there's only two other choices. It's either earth, heaven, or hell. He's not a hellish king. Too much kindness and compassion and love. And therefore, if he's telling Pilate, my kingdom is not from this world, then it's got to come from heaven. My kingdom is from heaven, dude. If my kingdom were purely an earthly kingdom, then my servants would have fought for my arrest. In fact, I could have called down a legion of 10,000 angels to release me. But my kingdom is not of this world. My kingdom is from another place. Imagine all the questions going through Pilate's mind. Imagine all the things, that are going on inside of this guy. Notice Pilate's interest is at once perked here. And we get the sense like there may be a chance when Pilate says, "You are a king then." Verse 37, Pilate said. Okay, it's not an earthly kingdom. I get that. I can see you didn't have any followers fighting to arrest you. I'm looking at you and you don't even look like an earthly king. But you did say you were a king. Do you see? For 1 minute we see a gleam of hope, a gleam of interest in the soul of Pilate. But you did say you were a king. Tell me more about this kind of king you are. Jesus created curiosity in the heart of this pagan Roman. Look at Jesus' response. He answered, "You are right in saying that I am a king. In fact, for this reason I was born, and for this I came into the world." You see those words? For this reason I was born, and for this reason I came into the world. Man, that statement is incredible. Think about what it means. For this reason I was born. Christ was born a king in his humanity, am I right? Other important people came and gave him gifts as a king at his birth, right? He was born the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. He was born the King of the Jews. From his humanity and in his humanity. But he's even more than that. He's the Son of God who stands eternal in the heavens, who was there before the dawn of time, and who entered into the world to be the King of all creation. For this reason I was born, and for this reason I came into the world, Son of Man and Son of God. Wow. Look what he's revealing to this man. Look at the truth of the union of his nature, God and man, and the truth of his eternality. I existed before even my birth because I came into this world from another place of which my kingdom was from, heaven. Wow, look at what's being shown. You wanted to know about this otherworldly kingdom, Pilate? Well, here it is. And I have come into this world on a mission sent from God. Now, he doesn't get into all that, although that's implied, because he didn't want to confuse Pilate here. But he said, for this reason I was born, and for this reason I came into the world for what? To testify to the truth. What an amazing statement. Jesus opens up a new world of truth for him. That Pilate, there is a truth beyond this world, a truth that's come from heaven, and that truth is that I, the rightful king, was born, that I entered into this world to be the Savior of all mankind, to be the great purpose for life, to be that which guides and determines your eternal destiny. That is the truth for which I came into this world to testify to. Jesus was the living embodiment of the truth of God. Wow. How amazing is this passage? Look at this truth that he has opened up to Pilate. And notice his last statement, and everyone who is on the side of truth listens to me. Pilate, do you want to know truth? Pilate, do you want to know why I came into this world? Do you want to know who I am? Do you want to recognize that there is a universal truth, that there is a one truth to which all other truths point? Do you want to know what that is, Pilate? And at once we see that the sun beginning to dawn on Pilate. This is Pilate's moment of grace, his hour of mercy. Here it is. The sun is beginning to rise up. It's bright in the east. Will the sun rise? Will the gleam of light beam out? There's so much hope and possibility in this moment. Pilate, everyone who's on the side of truth listens to me. Which side are you on, Pilate? Are you on the truth side or don't you care? Here is Jesus, the suffering Son of God, simply moments from his crucifixion, and still he is reaching out to men, even this man, Pilate. Wow. Oh, man. Verse 34, or excuse me, well, it's a shadow. 38. What is Pilate's response? Now, I've heard this read any number of ways, from our own famous Charles Hallman. Those of you around a long time will get that one. Played the part of Pilate in a play a long time ago and couldn't figure out how to say this line either. But the question is, how do we say the line? Is it, what is truth? Is it questioning, philosophical? Or is it, what is truth? I believe it's the latter. It's pessimism. You mean, it's amazing. Who is Pilate? Think about this for a second. I know we're getting on here. I promise I'll try to wrap this up quick. Who is Pilate? Think about him. He's a Roman. He's in the Greek and Roman tradition. He's an educated man. He's no dummy. The Greeks look for truth. Yet the Greeks failed to answer the basic questions of life. Who am I? Where am I going? Why does my life have meaning and purpose? Probably the most well-known of all the Greek philosophers, the guy who probably made the greatest writings about these things, was Plato. You see, what Plato said was, we can find the answers to these ultimate questions if we look at the world. If we look at life and all the things that are around us, I mean, we can eventually arrive at these big truths of life. The Greeks sought truth. In the Truth Project, how many people have ever seen the Truth Project before? Many of you probably have. The Truth Project is awesome. The guy illustrates it who preaches there in the Truth Project by saying they look for truth inside the box being the universe. So if we just study and look at all the stuff that's around here in this world, we'll come to the meaning of life. We'll come to the purpose of life. Look at the particulars, they said. Let's take a look at that. Like, take a look at a pen. You see a pen, you observe a pen, you come across a pen. What's a pen? Well, it's got ink, and it's got this little point, and you can hold it, and when you push on the one end of it, it creates lines, and the ink comes out, and it comes out on whatever you're writing on. Well, isn't that interesting? Well, why would a person use a pen? Well, a person uses a pen, right, to be able to write down ideas or thoughts. Well, where did ideas and thoughts come from? Well, they come from the mind of a man. Well, where did the mind of a man come from? And who put things inside the mind of man that are there? Like, is there a God? Is there a right and wrong? Is there truth? You see, what happened is every time Pilate looked, every time Plato and the Greek philosophers looked for meaning and purpose, they kept pushing things backward and upward. And eventually they came to the conclusion that, there's got to be something outside of man. And so they called them the gods. The Greek and Roman gods, all of them that you know. But eventually that too was inferior. They couldn't figure, where did all these gods come? There had to be one. There had to be something. And no matter how hard they searched, they failed. They couldn't come to it. They couldn't come to the universal questions. They couldn't come to truth, the truth.